Hi, welcome to Ed Foodie. We're going to have something kind of different, interesting here today. I'm going to make a casserole, and I'm going to just call it a kitchen sink casserole. This is where ingredients could change depending on what you have. I'm going to go through the pantry, pull up any old cans maybe that's going out of date. Look through the freezer, see if I got any leftover things in there that we need to get rid of. And of course, base of the casserole will be a pasta and ground beef. So let's get started. Just to let you know, I had like 12 ounces of pasta, and I had penne pasta in my pantry, so that's what we're going to use. You can use whatever kind of pasta you like. And I've cooked it to al dente, and it's right now draining in the sink. I'm not going to rinse it because I want it to be a thick casserole, and the starchiness from the pasta will make it a little bit thicker. So here I've got about half a pound to 3/4 of a pound of good ground beef. I think it's 85%. And then I went through my freezer, and I had some frozen chopped green pepper. So we're going to just put that in there. This looks like about a 1/4 cup. Let's go ahead and add. If you have an onion, you can put in, half a cup of onion. I'm going to use this dried onion flakes. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon. And then let's put in some garlic. Again, you could put in 1 or 2 garlic cloves finely chopped. I'm just going to use this minced garlic from the bottle. That will fry this up. So this is one of these casseroles that, if you're in short time, you can whip this up pretty quick. And you don't really have to plan a whole lot. Just use whatever you got. All right, so we're going to fry this up for, 5 to 7 minutes. I'll drain the grease, pat this ground beef really dry to get all this excess grease off of it. And then what we'll do here is we'll make a meat sauce out of this. My ground beef is cooked well. I've drained it and patted it nice and dry, picked up all that excess grease. We're going to put it back on the burner at like maybe medium low. Now we're going to make our tomato sauce. I've got a 10-ounce diced tomatoes with green chilies. I'm going to go ahead and drain this first. We'll add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And what I had in mind was it's got oregano, garlic, and basil. You know, whatever you have. Let's stir this up a little bit. I'll put in a half a teaspoon of some dried Italian seasoning and a full teaspoon of some dried parsley flakes. We can add some salt and pepper to taste. I'll put in maybe about a teaspoon of each. All right, so this is going to be pretty much our tomato meat sauce. I'm going to let this heat up, cook a little bit just to get some of that water evaporated that was in the diced tomatoes. I've got my tomato meat sauce just simmering on low. Now we're going to go ahead and make up like a cheese sauce. We're going to layer this casserole. For our cheese layer, we'll start with a 1/4 cup of some shredded Parmesan cheese. A half a cup of sour cream. A half a cup of cottage cheese. If you happen to have ricotta, that would actually be probably better. We'll put in 1 egg. And I'm going to add, this is maybe a little over a teaspoon of fresh basil. Again, you can use the dried basil leaves. We just happen to have some out in the garden, so I want to go ahead and use the fresh. All right, mix this up good. If you did use ricotta instead of the cottage cheese, this will be probably a little bit thicker. Okay, I think we're ready to start putting things together. I've got a 2.5 quart casserole dish. Let's go ahead and spray the bottom good. And just to ensure that the pasta doesn't stick to that pan, we're just going to put a little bit of this meat sauce on the bottom. Yeah, it's good. Well, let's put a little bit more. There we go. So our next layer here is going to be half of the pasta that we cooked. Oh, and in the when you were making the sauce, like I said, whatever you have left over, that if you had some frozen corn, frozen peas, you could throw that in there, or even canned peas that maybe get ready to expire. You could put all that in your meat sauce. What I'm going to do here is I had again a couple of cans of things I want to get rid of. I just got a 6.5 ounce can of some mushroom pieces and stems. I'm just going to layer that in here. Then casseroles, I like olives. So I've got some, again, 2.25 ounce sliced black olives. Now we can pour in all of our cheese sauce. Kind of, evenly spread it out. We'll put in the remainder of the second half of the pasta. And now the remainder of our meat sauce. Again, try to spread it evenly over everything. You want that pasta covered pretty good so that it doesn't get burnt or hard. Our final layer is going to be shredded mozzarella cheese. We're going to cover the top. This will make it nice and gooey, cheesy, and it'll also make sure you cover any pasta that might be showing. All right, looks great. I've got my oven. Oh, this was a good probably 1 to 1.5 cups of the mozzarella. My oven's preheated to 375. I'm going to bake it covered first for 15 minutes. We'll take it out, take the cover off, put it back in for another 15 minutes. That'll get the cheese a little bit brown and bubbly. And we'll take it out of the oven, let it set for about 5 minutes. And it's, like lasagna. You don't want it all kind of runny and falling apart. You let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes and it kind of holds together better when you serve it. And here's our final product. Okay, Catherine's going to try the kitchen sink casserole.
Looks good.
It's got everything but the kitchen sink in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to make so much. We had this will serve a whole large family. Very good. Pretty quick to make also. And whatever you don't eat, you can freeze and bring it out another day. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Foodie right over there. And thank you for watching.